Hello, everyone. Hello. We are back for another episode of Animal Kingdom Season 5, Episode 4 Power. I hope y'all have had an amazing Sunday so far. My day has been great. I went grocery shopping and just, washed my clothes, did everything I needed to do to get ready for the work week. Okay, I got me a day off on Friday because not Friday, but Thursday, because I got a dentist appointment. So I'm excited for that. Okay, little day off, but I'm excited for the work week Monday, and I hope everybody has an amazing work week tomorrow, okay? But let's get into this review of Animal Kingdom, okay? So, I'm going to do like I did last week with the review. I'm going to do the flashbacks first, and then I'm going to talk about present day. This episode really wasn't all that much, but it was still a good episode. So let's start with the flashback. So do our little, okay, flashback. So we see this flashback of Janine and Jake. They are doing the deeds, okay? They doing the deeds. She on top, she doing her thing. And then we see Pope looking in the doorway, looking. And I said, no, Pope. No, Pope. Let's not do that, okay? Jake thought he saw something. He thought he saw Pope, right? Well, Andrew. And he told Janine, like, did you lock the door and everything like that? Janine was like, they know not to, look and everything like that. So then we go outside and we see Julia pull Pope aside and say, hey, Mom said when there's friends over, we need to stay outside. So then he walks away from Julia. Later on, Janine is having this party, and there's these group of people there. There's Manny. Manny's there, and Janine tells Manny about a job that's happening, and it's automated tellers, basically ATM machines, okay? Manny was like, we can't be doing this in broad daylight and everything like that. And Janine was like, look here, I already got a truck. Everything's fine. Marcy, this girl here, she knows how they work. She worked in DC, and so she knows everything. Nothing's going to happen. So we just need to follow her lead and what she's told us. So they get the car and, they get the truck. And at nighttime, there's one person, he's leaving the ATM. Jake goes in. And so Manny and Janine, they pull the truck back. And they start latching, the rope and everything like that onto the ATM machine. And Jake is hooking it with the truck and everything like that. So Jake is on the lookout. He says everything's good. They get into the truck. They drive off. ATM is secure. So they then go to a location and they pour something. They drill holes in the back of the ATM machine and they fill it up with water. And Janine said this is what Marcy told her because she wants her cut. And so they put a stick of dynamite in the hole and they run away from it and it blows up and the money is falling down. So they got the money. So then the next day, Manny was like, we can do a lot of this along the coast and everything like that. Janine was like, I might want to stay here. And Manny was like, why? We don't keep doing stuff where we already done it because it can draw attention, and it's like, we need to start moving. What if we're stepping in somebody else's territory? Janine was like, it's fine with me because I like it here. And so I'm like, in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, Miss Janine, like, why are you messing with the married man? Because Jake, aren't you married to a girl named Cheryl? Okay. But that was the flashback of what happened. So that was the flashback. Now let's go into present day. So let's fast forward to present day. Okay. So in the beginning of the episode, we see Darren, surfing and everything like that. He gets done surfing and he runs into the FBI agent. The same FBI agent from last season in the previous episode, on his case about Adrian saying that he misses his nephew, and it's like, can you send pictures of his family? But then he also says that someone has been sending him money. And I said, Darren, girl, I know you not sending him money. You are not sending Adrian money. You better not be doing that. The FBI agent was like, look here, you can get arrested for aiding and abetting. So you better, the clock is ticking for you to cooperate with us. Because if you don't cooperate, then you know what? You're going to be arrested. Darren is just so over it. And I said, Darren, open up your eyes and see that that bartender is flirting with you. Come on, Darren. Let's go. So then we see Craig. Craig is about to roll up some weed while the baby's crying. I say, Craig, you ain't gonna get the baby? So weed is more important than baby? He thinks about it for a second. And he gets up. He goes to the fridge and he puts the baby bottle, the breast milk, in the bottle heater. And he gets the baby, and come to find out that Ren is out of town. She's in Reno for a bachelorette party. So Craig is in charge of the baby. I mean, if you don't got help, do what you gotta do. I said, Craig, please do not do anything stupid. Please don't do anything stupid, Craig. But it's Craig, so you do not know what's gonna happen. So then we get this scene with Pope. Pope is handcuffed. I said, Pope, what did you do? So the cop is, talking to the other cop. The cop, okay, there's two cops there. The cop that was there was in the first episode, and he was investigating the shootout that happened and everything like that, in the first episode with the Codys and their cousins and the shootout that happened. Yeah, he was there. So one of the officers was saying, like, he doesn't know his name, he doesn't know how he got there. And Pope is like, who am I? What am I doing? I didn't do anything. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, is he blacking out? I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So then the one of the police officers was like, we gotta take him to the hospital, and like he has a history, being arrested, and then he also is listed for like a psych evaluation. But the one cop was like, look here, dude, just because your partner is not here, you can't be doing your own thing willy-nilly, okay? So I believe, and I put this out here, I'm calling this out right now, okay? I'm calling, my shot. Babe Ruth, I'm calling my shot. I believe that police officer, I believe he is going to do his own investigation of the Cody family. I feel like he is going to do some digging around, and he's going to try to find something on the Cody family. I think that whoever his name is, really never gave us his name, but I believe that officer is going to be, investigating his own on the Cody family, because I got that vibe the first time I saw him. He's going to do some digging around on the Cody family. So they take Pope to the hospital. Okay. So we see Jay. Jay is talking to Nicole. She spent the night, and she's pretty. Girl, Nicole pretty. I'm like, okay, Jay, you be pulling pretty girls. Okay. Nikki was pretty. Nikki was okay. She was pretty. Mia, I couldn't stand Mia, but Mia was pretty. Nikki's pretty. Okay. This Nicole, she's pretty. So Nicole's there, and she was like, hey, how about we throw a party later on today? Darren was like, okay, that's fine. So, well, Jay said it's okay, it's fine. Darren basically told Jay, look here, you are going to take me to the bowling alley, and you're going to show me everything that you do, okay? Okay? Okay. So we get the scene with Craig. Craig is taking the baby to go pick up a surfboard. And there's these two dudes on these scooters. And it's like one of these high-tech scooters, basically like last week's episode. And all of a sudden, Craig just shoves one dude off of his scooter and goes into the surf shop. So the dude that works at the surf shop, he knows of Craig because his brother went to high school with Craig, and he was picking up Craig was picking up a surfboard for Ren, and he noticed that Nick was crying, and he was like, you gotta do this to calm the baby down, and Craig was like, okay, kind of like caught off guard by it, but then he asked him like, what about like burping, like what do you gotta do, and the guy was giving him tips on that. And so I'm like, what are you thinking about, Craig? Like, what is going through your head? So then we see Darren and Jay. They are going through the bowling alley. Jay is telling Darren that there's a lot of ways that you can clean money through the vending machines, through this, through that. Darren was like, take me to your office. He takes Darren to the office and he sees the safe. He tells Jay to open up the safe. He also tells Jay to write down a combination, okay? So Jay opens up the safe, and it's basically important papers of Smurf documents and everything like that. But then Darren also notices some cash. And he was like, yeah, this is petty cash. Because you don't want to use fake money, okay? Darren, you're supposed to know this, okay? You're supposed to have some backup money just in case something happens. But Darren was like, give me my money. So Jay gives Darren some money. Then he also was like, okay, I'm going to give Craig and Pope their cut when I see them. So then he also tells Jay, look here, we need to move the coke. We need to move it. Jay was like, why? He was like, because it's going to be safer for us. He was like, what do you mean? He was like, you just need to move it. Jay was like, where am I going to put it? Darren was like, put it up in the air ducts. Put it up in there. Jay was like, okay, well, what if I get caught? Then it's going to fall back on me. Darren was like, you just need to move it. So basically what I'm getting at with this scene with Darren is that Darren is trying to be the head honcho in charge. He does not want to take orders from Jay because he does not trust Jay. And it's understandable. But here's the thing. You can't blame Jay. Janine is the one that trusted Jay. Janine is the one that taught Jay everything and, stuff like that. She was the one that had a whole bunch of trust in him. He took the opportunity to try to sneak one under on her. So you can't blame Jay for everything. You gotta blame your mama for this too. So then we see Pope. Pope is at the hospital. And I'm like, oh my gosh, did he black out? Like, what's going on? Because he doesn't know why he's there. He's like in this trance. And then he wakes up and he's like freaking out. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm in the hospital. He's realizing that he's in the hospital. So he's trying to leave. But the doctor was like, nope, you can't leave. Do you know what your name is? He was like, Andrew Cody. She was like, do you know where you live? And he was like, I need to go. And she was like, no, I had to do an involuntary psych evaluation on you. Okay, so you're going to need to stay here for a little bit. So he stays. We see Darren go to meet up with Pete. And Pete is shocked. Pete is like, wow, you're here, Darren, like in the flesh, like what's going on? Usually you be coming out at night and everything like that, so it's a shocker for you to be here. And Darren tells Pete, look here, you're not going to talk to Jay anymore. You're going to need to talk to me, okay? Pete was caught off guard, like, whoa, what do you mean? Like, okay. I don't answer nobody, and look here, no offense, Darren, but I'm not taking orders from you. Basically, that's what he said, because he doesn't take Darren as being a leader as Smurf is, right? So he takes literally what Darren says like a grain of salt. He does not believe what Darren is saying. So then we see Craig. Craig was like, okay, he's at the house, and the same dude from the surf shop, he shows up at the house. And I'm like, bro, what is he doing here? Craig is watching surf videos with the boy, and the dude pops up, and he was like, yeah, look here, okay, I'll be gone in an hour, there's milk in the fridge, and if you want to roll one up, there's plenty. And I'm like, so you're basically leaving your kid in the hand of a stranger. Craig, you cannot be this stupid, Craig. You can't be this stupid, but I keep saying it's Craig. So Craig is going to do something stupid, okay? So we see Darren, and Darren is back at the bowling alley. And he's going through the safe, and he's looking at documents, and he pulls out a document of Pamela Johnson with her photo on it. So he is going to go find Pamela Johnson. So then we see Pope. Pope is at the hospital. And the lady is asking him questions and everything like that. You know, when was the last time you had this experience? And he was like, you know, a week ago. And she was like, you know, did anything happen in your life recently or anything like that? He was like, yeah, my mom died. She was like, okay, I'm sorry. How did your mom die? He didn't want to say that, yeah, my nephew shot my mama, who was crazy after we just robbed our cousins, you know. He couldn't say that, so he said she had cancer, okay? And it was quick than we thought, and she just died. And so she diagnosed him with dissociative fugue, I think. And that's when someone basically, you separate yourself from the real world, and it's basically like an escape from trauma or anything stress related, and you just basically kind of like a blackout moment. And so she was like, it's good if you talk to a therapist. I said, that's not gonna happen. She said, talk to a priest or a bartender, someone to talk about this. I said, girl, he ain't gonna talk about nothing, okay? Pope is gonna suppress these feelings, okay? And so he was like, you know, I gotta go. But she was like, you know, I can give you like a 24-hour admitted, and we can talk about this again later on. Pope was like, you know, that's fine with me. So then we see Jay. Jay is packing up the cocaine. He's packing it up in bags, and then the video monitor is ringing. He goes and looks at it, and it's a cop. And so he goes to answer it. He goes outside to answer it. And he said, is Darren here? The cop was like, is Darren here? Jay was like, no. He was like, okay, so I just want to let you know that Andrew Pope is in the hospital, and, you know, just letting you know he's there. And you can kind of you could feel the tension between the cop and Jay. Like, I'm telling y'all, he's going to do his own little investigation of the Cody family. So we see Craig, and Craig goes to Frankie's house. He pops up at Frankie's house, and he's pissed, you know, Frankie's talking to Jay and everything like that. And she tells him, look here, Jay came to me, okay? And Craig was like, look here, you don't need to work with him, none of that. Well, she was like, look here, I got businesses too, okay? Craig was like, okay, let's drop it. How about, she said like, I think she said like 3%, and I think he said like, no, 2%. And so they agreed on 2%. And he said, don't talk to Jay anymore. So you're kind of seeing them trying to outsmart Jay, trying to get like 10 steps ahead of Jay. But I'm like, look here, Jay is already 20 steps ahead of y'all. He really is. He is already 20 steps of y'all. He already had his plan in motion. And when I really want somebody to send me the clip. I forgot, what season was it? Was it last season or season 3? I think it was season 3, and Smurf was asleep, and Jay whispered to Smurf, he said, Smurf, I'm going to take everything. Someone tweet me that clip of that, because every time Jay does something, that always pops into my head, because he said, Smurf, I'm going to take everything. And Jay is going to take everything. I feel like he is setting his plan in motion on taking everything, because I feel like this is his revenge of what they did to Julia. That's what I believe is going to happen. That's how I believe the show is going to end. Him getting everything. But, payback, basically. So then we see, Jay. Jay hits Pete, and Pete looks annoyed that Jay is here. And he was like, look here, I already had to talk to Darren, okay? Jay was like, Darren's here? Pete was like, look here, I don't care about this little pissing contest y'all got, okay? But look here, leave me out of this, okay? And so basically, Jay wants Pete to get on this now. Like, hurry up and find me someone, okay? Pete was like, you got the coat? Jay said, I got it right in the back. Pete said, pull up. There was an earlier scene with Darren and Craig, and they talk about how Jay is looking for like a single buyer just to like buy this cocaine, but that's going to take forever to try to find a buyer and everything like that. So they had that conversation earlier on in the episode. So we see let me do this. Okay. So we see Craig coming back home, and he tells the dude thank you for everything. So the dude was about to get on his scooter. Craig was like, why are you getting on a scooter? Like, don't you have like a skateboard or rollerblades? And the dude was like, yeah, but this gets me here fast. Craig was like, no, don't ride your bike. Don't ride your scooter. Just walk. And I'm like, Craig, don't you have like, is there like a problem with you and like millennials or something like that, Craig? Like, what's going on? Like, you hate what these millennials are doing? Like, first it was the Tech Valley dudes, and I don't know, Craig showing his age with like this millennial type stuff, you know, like that old man, like, get off my lawn. That's what he's starting to sound like. So Darren, he is outside of someone's house, and there's a car, and it pulls up to the house. He gets out of the car, and he puts his gun in the back of his waistband, and he says, Pamela Johnson. He found out, well, he's at her place of residence. She turns around, and she said, oh, which one of Janine's boys are you? She then proceeds to say, my neighbor told me that there's this white boy outside of my house for hours. Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, which one of Janine's boys are you? And he said, Darren. She said, okay, Darren, there's plenty of groceries in the trunk. Make yourself useful. So we see Jay going up to meet with Pope at the hospital. And he asks Pope, like, did you say anything to anybody? Pope was like, no. And then Jay was like, you want to go home? Pope was like, yeah, let's leave. So they leave. We see we see Craig and the group of kids, and they throw in their scooters in like this pile, and it's like a big old pile of scooters. And then we see this monster truck come and just smash over these scooters and everything like that. And I'm like, Craig, what was the point? But we'll probably find out later on these episodes. So we see Darren talk to Pamela. And, you know, he's freaking out because, look here, I don't know you. I haven't heard anything about you, anything like that. Like, why are you here? And, like, why did my mom sign everything to you? She was like, well, Janine was my friend. But he was like, still, I don't know you. I don't know who you are whatsoever, okay? She then proceeds to say, like, I kicked your mom out and everything like that, and how your mom built this empire in a city full of, nobodies and soldiers and everything like that. And it's like, she built this empire and she had power. And he tells Pamela that, look here, nobody takes from us. We take from other people. Pamela's like, so that's why you got your gun? So you can negotiate something with me? And so Pamela tells him, look here, you're not going to take anything from me. You're not taking nothing from me. You got to earn it. And so Darren had this look in his eyes that was like, okay, maybe we can work something out. Okay, he said it with his eyes, not his mouth. So Pamela was like, okay, we can figure out something out, but get out. And so Pamela, you see in the next episode, Miss Pamela's like, y'all got 24 hours. Y'all got until the end of the week to get out. So we see Pope and Jay. They're driving in the trailer park area, mobile home area, and they're trying to find Pope's car. They're going down different directions, and they pull up to this house. And I'm saying to myself, are they going to pull up to the trailer of the flashback of where they were staying at? Is that what they're going to do? So he tells them, okay, make a right. It's right here. So they pull up to this empty lot, and he tells Jay to go home. He'll meet you there. And so I said to myself, they are at the trailer park of where they live. That's where they lived at. And so it's like this fence, and that's it. It's like this little bit of fence. He walks this red line onto the lot, and he's walking onto it, and he has a flashback of Julia. And he's walking, and this lady was like, have you found your sister? And he was like, what? He's like, you said you were going to find your sister. And I said, ma'am, his sister's dead. So what's going on? I'm like, Pope, oh my gosh, you be blacking out, bro. Like, you're blacking out. You're blacking out, obviously. And so we see Jay and Nicole, they getting in the bathroom. He pulling her hair and hitting it from the back. I said, all right, Jay, get it in. Get it in. These guys deserve something, okay? They deserve. And so they're out in the pool, and Darren comes home. Darren is cleaning up and everything like that, and Pope walks in. Pope was like, where were you? And Darren was like, I've been busy. He was like, where were you? Same thing. And he tells Darren, I could have needed you. Like, I needed you, and you weren't there. So then we see Darren talk to Jay, and he was like, did you talk to Pete? He said, yeah, I talked to Pete. It's handled. It's like, all right, okay, everything's handled, okay. So then we see Pope, and he's, taking off stitches and everything like that, the little bandages, and he's trying to take off the hospital bracelet, get at the hospital. He's trying to take that off. And so this girl, she, says, hey, where's the bathroom? Pope was like, it's that way. And then she tells him, how to take off the bracelet. And I thought Pope was going to do something. I said, no, Pope, no. She's too young. Find somebody your own age, Pope. Don't do it, Pope. Don't do it. Okay. He was like, how do you know about this? She was like, I work at a pediatrics office. And he was like, the kids that are really sick, do they make it? Do they feel better? And she was like, yeah, sometimes. And she walks away. I'm like, Pope, you need help. But he ain't gonna get it. So then he goes outside, and he's pissed. He's looking at Jay. I thought he was going to punch the crap out of Jay. But he was like, you shouldn't have killed her. Okay? And then Darren's looking at him, and he was like, you shouldn't have shot her in front of us. He's like, you shouldn't have done that. And then he walks away. And then I'm like, well, what did you expect? To be honest, what did you expect? Like, what did you expect she was going to go out? Like, what did you expect, Pope? Like, what did you expect? You probably don't even know. Her and Jay probably had this plan in motion, okay? But y'all, that's how Animal Kingdom ended. And next week look like it's going to be a mess, because Pamela Johnson said y'all got 24 hours. Y'all got until the end of the week to get out. Y'all, I'm ready for next week's episode, okay? So y'all, that was Animal Kingdom, and I will see y'all when I see y'all. Alright? Peace. I love you guys. Bye.